Hey, so the countdown is on. Well, I say countdown. Today is literally the day before Private Agenda is going to be released, and my feelings are a little complicated. But if you have ever watched my pre-release thoughts before, you know that I am always in like a little bit of a like a like an anxious place before the release of any book, and this one is not any different. So this book is not even particularly long. It's longer than my typical novella, but it is on the short end of full length, and it's not particularly angsty. I have just had a lot of angst about writing it. Largely, I think because of the weight that The Heights holds. In terms of my catalog, The Heights is very much like at the forefront of it. Out of whatever number of books I'm on, 80 plus, more than a third of those titles take place in the Heights. So there's a certain pressure, I guess, to make sure that I get it right, to make sure that I do this, to make sure that I do the backdrop justice. Often the Heights, like within whatever project I'm in, the Heights is presented as almost a character in and of itself. And I just like, if I was writing a book with any other character that was being repeated, that was having cameos, whatever, I want to make sure that I give that same, character development to that. And so we get a lot of character development of Heights itself. And again, because it holds so much weight in my catalog, it is it's a little stressful wanting to make sure that you get it right. And did I? I don't know. I don't know that it's necessarily for me to determine, but I can definitely say that I have given this book a lot of mental energy, a lot of physical energy, a lot of. I'm not a crier, but I have come closer since I started writing this book. And again, not about the subject matter, about the doing of the doing of the work is just taking its toll, I guess. So we have Camille, who is works in city government, and she is very much, corporate baddie, very bold, very outspoken, and just I adore Camille. And then we have Duke, who is so if you could hear my voice notes and commentary to my friends as I was writing Duke, he got on my nerves a little, but but we stand a principled man, okay? We he sees himself very much as like a protector of the Heights, and because of his background and because of the way that he came to be in the Heights, he is he's very committed to maintaining the culture, maintaining the integrity, maintaining the community, and not letting kind of outside forces who want to come in and kind of like they see the potential, they see what's there, and they want a piece of it for themselves. And that's not necessarily a problem until you go about it in a way that does not also benefit the people. And he is very interested, I'll say that, in making sure that that is maintained. This book does have some thriller elements. I would not quite lean into fully calling it a thriller. I'm sure anybody who has read it already, either my ARC readers or my patrons who may have read it already, they might disagree with that. I did not approach it as a thriller. I'll say it like that. I did not approach it as a thriller. The very, very beginning of the book is what came to me first. I had no idea what I was doing, no idea what was going on, and I just wrote it out. And I literally sent it to like a few friends, like, look at this crazy shit. Like, this is insane, but look at this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm probably not going to do anything with it, you know. But then I leaned into it and I was like, okay, so how did we get here from where this book started? And that's an exercise that I do often, you know, in my character development, etc., etc. But anyway, I came to a point. I was maybe midway through what where we ended up, and I was like, I think I'm gonna have to scrap that opening scene because I don't know how to get back there. Like I don't know how to make that connect to everything else. And everybody was like, you know, if you gotta scrap it, you gotta scrap it. You know, like we get it because that if you you'll understand when you read it, you'll understand why I say that. But I think that giving myself the freedom to like not live up to that scene is what actually kind of unlocked it in my brain. So we did keep it, we did keep it, and it did work, and it's perfect to me. Um, so yeah, I was supposed to be talking about like the tone and all of that of the book. Um, Very community forward, very very in depth in terms of like the city government aspect and kind of what goes into it, different ordinances and well, not I didn't get that specific, but I definitely researched a lot of stuff like that. Like I had to do a lot of research into how city government works and how city voting and referendums, and I did have to take some creative liberties, you know, because it is fiction. I do have to, spin the narrative, but I did try my very best to make sure that that you could see the depth and you could see how passionate each character, Camille on her end and Duke on his end, you could see how passionate they were about like their positions. I'll say it like that. In terms of he left, it's not the it's not the spiciest thing I've ever written, but it will probably be in the top 10 to 20, I think, of it. And there's not a ton of sex in the book. There's not a lot of it, but when they do connect, they connect. We have lots of cameos in this book, lots of familiar faces from the Heights and Blackwood actually. Um, Overall, I think it's very much like a love letter type of thing to the Heights, where I wanted to really explore like those elements of community and passion, and really kind of like with this year being the 10-year anniversary of the first thing that I published that was in the Heights, A Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Um, it felt very appropriate to kind of bring everything full circle and bring everything back to kind of seeing where we started, where I only wrote a fictional town because I didn't want to I didn't want to get any details wrong about a real city. I didn't want to, I didn't want to have to worry about, doing all the research and everything of setting it somewhere that, that the people would recognize. And now, a decade later, we're at a place where the Heights has its very own recognizable stuff. And when I write stuff in the Heights, I have to go back and I have to research, and I still ended up having to do a bunch of research to make sure that I got things right when I set a book here. Ain't that crazy? Y'all know I can run my mouth, so let me go ahead and wrap this up. Private Agenda releases Friday, November 22nd. It will be exclusive to ccjromance.com for a while probably. As terms of audio, I just finished this book, so it is certainly not an audio yet, but it will be an audio. We will be bringing it to audio. That's not in question. I'll keep everybody updated about that. Paperbacks. If you are a member of my Patreon, you will be receiving a paperback. You don't have to do anything extra. And if you purchase any of the Heights box packages, you'll be getting the hardcover special edition, which is it's an alt cover versus the Patreon cover. So there'll be 3 different covers total. There will be the general cover, like the initial cover. Patreon gets a special edition cover, and then the Heights box gets its own special edition cover. Of the paperback version, I'll have a few extras of the hardcover version. I will let you guys know when those are available, like for public purchase, but they will be like a very, very, very limited number. If you are part of my Patreon, or if you were part of the art team where the signups were like last month sometime, I can't even remember, but I did like a cover reveal announcement thing, and a lot of you guys signed up for them. Then if you were on either of those lists of people, you should already have access to Private Agenda. If you have any trouble accessing or downloading it or anything like that, please just let me know, and I will do what I can to get that corrected for you. When you finish the book, please consider leaving your thoughts on Goodreads, or there is a place to leave reviews, like right on cjromance.com. And of course, if you do feel so inclined, if you want to talk about it on social media, absolutely do that. But if you did not like it, please do not tag me. Please do not tag me. Feel free to talk about the fact that you didn't like it. That's your business, not mine. Do not tag me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for the love and support that you have shown me throughout all of this. Like I said, this is 10 years of the Heights, and I have not leaned into that as much as I probably should have, but that is the reason for, the Heights box and all of that, is because it's been 10 years this year. A Crazy Little Thing Called Love was one of the projects that like very, very first like really shifted the trajectory of my career. I feel like it was the first project where I really just like took almost the risk, I guess, of not trying to be like traditionally published romance, and really leaning into being an indie author, and really leaning into like, no, I want to say it like this. Like, I know you're not supposed to do that, but this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And it really changed things for me. It really set the stage for everything that has come after it. And so as I'm talking about it, I'm realizing that this project was actually like a lot more important to me than I even realized that it was. And it makes it make like so much more sense that it was just so in a lot of ways difficult for me to craft, because I was, like I said, I was afraid of getting it wrong, but I don't think I did. I think I got it right. But really, I'll let you be the judge tomorrow. So with that said, happy reading.